using the Players tab, we've made a few additions here recently. The coloring in the stats page, which allows you to obviously see what the better plays are, or where the stat, or at least the data is leaning. So if you're subscribed to multiple projections, and this is something that I like to do when researching for lineups, you can, when you're subscribed to multiple of these, you can filter out players that multiple of these projections don't like. So let's say we wanted to only include players that the Guru, Baseball Prospectus, and Razzball had it projected at least at 6 points or higher. We just filtered out all those players, and so that shortens the list a bit. And you can filter and sort by tons of different things. Batting order, it's usually good to have players towards the top of the batting order. So why don't we just take it out? I like to look at players who are in the 5 spot or higher when possible. And some of these other stats we have, I've talked about WOBA, fantasy points per at bat in the last 60 games. This is a stat that Sahil is really into, telling you how much a player is worth on an at-bat basis. And I also wanted to introduce you guys this matchup WOBA stat that is only custom to RotoQL, and this measures essentially the batter's matchup according to the handedness of the pitcher. How the batter performs against the handedness of the pitcher he's playing that night. So if we were to sort this out a little bit, we can see that we've got about 15 players or so that are better than the average still left in this group. So let's filter this out too. Let's filter this out to about 320 WOBA. And then so we've got actually a slew of different position players here. So Segura, we're definitely let's add some of these into our lineups. I think these are pretty optimal plays. We're going to want to add Segura being a second baseman. Carpenter we saw earlier. Let's add him in. Brandon Moss being we can lower this by salary here. Oh, Joey Rickard. So this is really good. Once you get to this point in doing your research, you're going to find some plays who are a little more of a bargain than others. So we're going to certainly want to add Rickard. And so this is how you can do player research to find optimal plays. And then from here, you can get indicators also on what teams you want to stack. So I do this a lot to sort of figure out to go back to the games page and see if there's any teams that I can really take advantage of here. So we've got, let's just add a few more of these guys. So I know some of you guys don't really have a lot of time to build lineups. You do a quick search on with a few of these different metrics, add the players in, and you can simply just favorite whoever you like, head back to optimize lineups, and as you can see, they're filling up the majority of the part of the lineups that we've favorited for. So just for this exercise, I'm going to keep these lineups as is, but I want everybody also to be aware of the favorite players bonus. If you're going to be using favorites, once you've done this, you're going to, if you have a high favorite bonus in like we do now, it's going to weight your picks over the projections because you're adding an additional 50 points to each player. So if you want the projections to have a little more weight, you're not as confident in your picks that night, I'd recommend putting 2 to 3 points. If we move this to 2 points, you're going to have less of these players show up a little bit, so you can see that Jock and Puig are showing up, and they got replaced by some outfielder that Baseball Prospectus didn't like. So definitely want to keep that in mind. If you want the projections to have a little more influence, definitely make the favorite players bonus smaller scale. See.